Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Monday Morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the uptrend.com with your Monday morning market outlook. In the pre-market this morning, stock index futures and commodities are currently trading higher. The stock index futures are being led higher by the tech sector, so that could certainly help some of those big cap tech stocks move up on Monday. Now, we don't have any major economic numbers coming out this morning. We will have some later in the week, but nothing in the pre-market on Monday morning. Now, some of the big movers last week were in the energy sector, where we saw crude oil break out and start to move higher up to the $74 level. We also had a big move up in natural gas last week. It came back hard on Friday, but it is trading higher on Monday morning. So a lot of movement in the energy sector last week. Now, looking at the VIX or the fear index, we're still on a sell signal here. That's supportive for higher stock prices. You can see on Thursday we did punch through the upper channel line, but did not close above it. So on Monday we're looking for a close above 1884 for the VIX for the S&P 500. A similar pattern for the VIX for the Nasdaq, and the VIX for the Russell came down hard on Friday, closing below the lower channel line. So if the VIX is on a sell signal, that's usually supportive for higher stock prices. Now, Bitcoin is back trading up to the $100,000 level, and we may possibly see a buy signal on Monday. You can see the pros are pretty close to taking control. They haven't run away that far as we've pulled back. There's a bullish reversal signal, and we still haven't taken out that low. So that bullish reversal signal is still in play. We're bouncing off the 50-day moving average and bouncing off our mathematical target of 93.75. If we can take out 100, then 106.25 and 112.50 come into play. Looking at the bond market, bonds have been selling off over the past few weeks, and you can see the 30-year bond has a nice pressure zone there. You can also see that the previous pressure zone was fairly elongated, so not expecting a quick recovery here, but this is the time and place. You certainly do not want to be shorting the bond market, but you don't want to be long the bond market either. If you've been in a short position, then you've been taking money off the table. I just wouldn't jump in here and short the bond market. So there's the pros. They don't look like they're that interested in buying on Monday. You can see we had a couple of bullish reversal signals over the past 10 days, but that has not been enough to get money flowing back into the bond market at this time. You can see, of course, falling bond prices equals higher bond yields. And of course, that is the bond market competing with the Fed at the moment. Looking at currencies, the US dollar index had an inside day on Friday after making a new high for this move on Thursday. The euro did, of course, the exact opposite. And then we've got other currencies not doing well against the US dollar at the moment. There's the Australian dollar, there's the Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar is up nicely in the pre-market this morning on some government-related news. There's the pros and the public. You can see that they're pretty far away from taking control on Monday, so we might just get a one-day pop and not get a lot of fall through to the upside, but we'll just have to wait and see. Next up, looking at the major index ETFs, and the iShares for the TSX 60 are back on a buy signal as of Friday's close. As we go through the U.S. market, they're still on sell signals here, but certainly we have a mathematical possibility of a buy signal on Monday. There's the Dow, there's the S&P 500, there's the equal weighted S&P 500 having an inside day on Friday. There's the NASDAQ 100 closing in the channel. So again, that gives us a mathematical possibility of a buy signal on Monday. There's the equal weighted NASDAQ, the next generation NASDAQ, the Russell 2000, all with the possibility of a buy signal on Monday. Looking at the Russell 2000, we've been looking to see if it could hold 218.75, which it has done so far. Now we're looking to see if we can break out above 225. We closed above it recently, but did not get any fall through to the upside. So if we can start closing above that recent high, then the next two targets, 231.25 and 237.50, come into play. There's small caps. So we had micro caps having a big up day on Friday. There's the iShares small cap ETF back on a buy signal. There's the Venture Exchange in Canada having a couple of big up days, and we're trading right up to resistance at 625. We've got up to and closed at 623.29 on Friday. So looking to see if we can break through 625. Then looking at the energy stocks, they're on a buy signal right now on both sides of the border. Gold stocks popped on Thursday, no fall through to the upside on Friday for the GDX or the XGD. So looking to see which way the gold market goes on Monday. We may not get much fall through to the upside, which is unfortunate. Now, looking at the TSX most actives from Friday's trading action, we certainly have a lot of energy stocks back on buy signals. The TD Bank was the most actively traded stock on Friday. We finally were able to punch out above the bottom of that open gap. You can see the top of that open gap is below the 79.69 level, which is a major area of resistance for the TD Bank. So we'll have to see how the market deals with that on the way up, but still looking pretty bullish at the moment. For the Bank of Nova Scotia, we're still waiting for a close above 77.82. Then looking at Enbridge, we made a new high on Friday, hitting our next price target of 62.50. So congratulations to anyone who had orders in up there. Then we've got TC Energy moving up on Friday. We've got all the major energy stocks back on buy signals right now. There's Canadian Natural Resources, there's Suncor, there's Baytech, all on buy signals at the moment. Still waiting for the CIBC, looking for a close on Monday above $92.30. There's South Bow on its second day of a buy signal. Then looking at the Royal Bank, still looking for a close above 174.81 on Monday. Then we've got BlackBerry pulling back on Friday, still looking for a close on Monday below $4.98. Of course, if that doesn't happen on Monday, that lower channel line will continue to move higher daily. Then the first wheat stock to show up on the most active list is Canopy Growth, looking for a close on Monday above $4.27. We closed at $4.25 on Friday. Then looking at TELUS, the first telecom stock, we traded up to the upper channel line on Friday, looking for a close above $20 on Monday to give us a new daily buy signal. And then the first gold stock was Kinross. You can see it popping on Thursday and then a small pullback on Friday. So looking to see if we can get more money coming back into those gold stocks on Monday. Let's finish off this morning's presentation, taking a look at the U.S. most actives from Friday's trading action. There's NVIDIA up on the day, up nearly 4.5%. Then looking at Rigetti, we made a new high before pulling back. No change in trend there. Tesla still on a sell signal, had a nice bounce up on Friday. We're looking for support to hold at 375. We are back up trading above $400 on Friday. And so 437.50 leads you up to 500, which we failed at back in December. The pros are still in control, so they have not given up, even though we've had this pullback down to support. Then looking at Lucid's still on a buy signal here. We hit 352 last week, so congratulations if you had an order in up there. An order in at 349 would have been a good place to put an order. Lucid, the pros are still in control. Now, on that 352 high, we had a bearish reversal signal from that, so looking to see if we can trade above that this week. Then SoFi, inside day on Friday, still on a sell signal. Palantir generated a sell signal on Thursday, back on a buy signal as of Friday's close, so a little bit of a whiplash there for Palantir. New low for Ford on Friday before recovering, closing slightly higher on the day. Then looking at NEO, we've closed right at the upper channel line on Friday. The pros and the public intertwined at the moment. And remember where you're trading from. We're looking for the flypaper channel to act as resistance. And so far, that is what it is doing. Looking at SoundHound, we've traded in the channel for the past couple of days, looking for a close on Monday below $19 to give us a sell signal there. Then looking at Apple, Apple had a very quiet day on Friday, holding support at 242.19. If that breaks, then 234.38 would be our next target to the downside. Then Intel's back on a buy signal as of Friday's close, not something I would chase. Then looking at Broadcom, trading in the channel for the past couple of days, a close on Monday below 227.02 would give us a sell signal for Broadcom. Then the first Canadian stock to show up on the most active list was Denison Mines, back on a buy signal as of Thursday's close. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like the market wants to do some buying, especially in the tech sector. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voices on Tuesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.